It's more humidified. Yeah, the wrapper always got to be plus humidified. When you are putting wrapper on, yeah. Okay. In other words, almost wet, kind of. Not wet, but like, because it breaks so easy, you know? This is the mold actually where you make the filler and binder, put it there, and when you have like, 10, 15, 20, then you press it in the press. And you have to like undo it. Once you press it for like 30 minutes to an hour, you have to take it out and move it again so it won't have lines, the cigar won't have lines and shit like that. The first time, about an hour. Second time, 30 minutes, around there. When you see how it's turning around, because sometimes some tobacco needs a little bit more pressing. If you don't press the tobacco really well, they can expand when you smoking it and blow up. That's one of the things you have to be careful.
Okay, so you've been rolling since you were 9.
9.
And who taught you how to roll?
My grandmother. My company name is my grandmother's last names. Only one, I never met my other grandmother. And people see Cordova and Morales and they always say, oh, but who's Cordova, who's Morales? And I'm like, in Cuba you carry 2 last names.
Okay.
So it's by law, you can have 2 names if you want to, but you have to have your father's last name first and your mother's. Like, what is your last name before you got married?
Lawson.
So your son should be your first name first, last name first, and then hers. And that's in your ID and everything. Yeah, it's not like, not going around that. No, I always see her doing these things. And when you're a kid, and I used to hang out with my grandmother a lot. She was more my mom than my mom, Okay. Now I have my both parents, and I was, but she was always there. And she had 16 kids. My grandmother had 16, 8 boys and 8 girls. So she really loved kids, and I guess I was the last. My mom is like the baby on her family, and I'm the baby in the house. So I was like my grandmother's last grandkid,
Yeah, wow.
No, she had a farm, okay. And she always makes cigars for the family, the friends. Yeah. Never sold cigars to anybody. And the tobacco that they used to grow, before Castro was a different thing, but after Castro you grow tobacco and the government comes after the harvest and picks them up and pay you whatever the heck they want to pay you for. You can say, oh, this is worth more. Now this is what we're giving you, see you later. Right. Or we take the farm from you. What will you take? And they did. She had a big-ass farm before Castro, and she ended up with 3 acres. She lost more than 95% of the farm. And they give those acres to somebody that is pro-communism, and did something for the Castro, even though if they didn't know how to do anything. That's why Cuba got all messed up, because you have people that were doing something for generations, but didn't approve this new government. Right. Yeah. And the government come in and say, okay, you're losing your farm, and they give it to a guy that had nothing to do with that. And 5 years from now, they don't grow anything, it's dead. And that happened in everything, in sugarcane, and everything. She died there when she was 83. Always work the farm, and I think now one uncle has a little bit of farm. The other one, I got like 2 uncles alive only, and the other one grows like things to eat, because that's what happens too. I mean, forget about my family that has no like real story with it. There was just a farm that grew tobacco. Hiroshi Robina, he was here last week hanging out for like the whole day. His daughter is staying with a friend of mine right down the street. Oh, wow. So when he comes from Cuba, he comes here all day. And he told me most of his family, He's not at that point yet because his farm is a lot more known. But a lot of the families growing other stuff because they said, we can't eat tobacco. We gotta grow something that we can eat, you know?
Yeah.
So where they can grow the best tobacco in the world, they're growing lettuce and tomatoes and rice and beans. Yeah.
What you're about to do, putting the wrapper leaf on.
Yes, on the filler and binder, yep.
Now, is that a particular station? Like when you have several different rollers, does that happen where you have a station of just wrapper applied or just bunchers or something like that, or is it the whole?
So the way it works is usually in Nicaragua, right? There is a double table, and for the most part, the husband
Okay.
is making filler and binder here,
Yeah.
and the wife is putting wrapper here.
Okay.
So he's all day doing that, and then the wife is putting wrapper like flying.
Yeah.
I got couples there now doing 300 cigars a day, 350. The husband usually gets there earlier, so when the wife, and leaves later too, because remember, he needs to make it filler and binder. It's not that it's harder. Everything has its thing, but it takes more time. You give one of these ladies 400 cigars a day and they will put wrapper on it, but he needs to press that and wait 30 minutes, 45 minutes, turn him. So he does a bunch when he goes home, comes early and does another. So when she gets there, she's got 150 cigars, 200 cigars ready to start working, and he's working on the other stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a triple cap.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I have been to Nicaragua and I learned how to do, if they call it corrido or, you know, single cap.
Yep.
I know how to do it, but this is what I did all my life. So I show you now. So the next time I roll one, I show you, but you see that I cut it here?
Yeah.
For a single cap, I wouldn't have cut it. I just keep getting glue, go like that, cut a top and put it on top. For a triple cap, you cut that off, it's done. You make a teardrop, and now you undo this. So it's a lot more work. That's why what I'm telling you, my premium stuff
Yeah.
is all like this.
Gotcha.
So rollers want to get paid more too when they do this. Because now they have to undo this part, put this under. The first thing is that I think cigars look a lot better. Presentation is in another level. But it is also true that if you don't do triple cap, you have to make sure you put enough glue and you stretching that wrapper, because if somebody cuts the cigar a little too deep, it can unravel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And with the triple cap, it's really hard to unravel because, I mean, you just tuck. I tuck something down here under the wrapper. You have to cut the cigar here to even think about unraveling. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually protection.
It's protection. All the cigars that I do at events, and I always do close fit.
Now, is that traditionally based? Where exactly did the close fit come from versus a just clean fit?
I think it's a newer thing. Cigars used to always be cut, you know? I like it for, this is personal, right? When you light up a cigar with a closed foot, the first couple of puffs, you taste that wrapper. You know what I'm saying?
Wrapper.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
So I like that combination of, oh, this is great wrapper, and then, oh, you get into a cigar, you know? The other, you got to toast it less too.
Yeah.
The rubber, boom, and it's on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it's something that, like, I could be wrong. I don't know everything, not even close. But I don't remember in Cuba, the only people that did closed food was like farm rolls. I don't remember ever any Cuban cigar that it was a closed food and factory cigar. You know what I'm saying? Box press, yes, box press it is an old Cuban thing, Cuban tradition. Because a lot of the boxes, when they started making cigars, were cardboard with paper, not wooden boxes. They got prettier later, right? And what they did to all these boxes is put the cigars, they barely fit in there, they press them and they put a nail on it. Monte Cristo number 2, number 4, all those cigars, you know? So when you get them at the factory, at the store later, you open it, they all look semi-square and they call them box press.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's why they call them box press. Yeah, cigars, for box press, you have to, it's not under filler, but you have to, it's a little less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in my mind if underfill sounds bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
But I get what you're saying.
you have to accommodate
Yeah,
more room
for the
when you
press.
it. Yeah.
Because when you press it, if it's really tight, when you press it, it's gonna get plugged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also, I tell everybody it's crazy, but when you press a cigar, I don't know what's the scientific behind it, but they always taste different. You know, the filler moves around, the combustion is different, but I done the same blend round and box press, same blend is different.
Okay.
Tastes different.
The leaves transition.
Yeah. The way they move around there when you press them, it's always